I was volunteered to say something about the season that we are currently in, and just to make it clear, it's our annual giving season, so that the vestry can put together a rational budget and make plans. So, what do I have to say? Well, our theme this year is "See, I am doing a new thing." And I thought that was pretty cool, because it was just over 30 years ago when the gleaming, shiny new thing on the block was St. Nicholas. It was us. And we were meeting in a church basement. Well, we were upstairs most of the time, but everything else was downstairs. And when the idea of St. Nicholas being put together was formed, and was put together by a bunch of people who lived in Darnestown and from churches in the northern Montgomery County area, one of which I belonged to at that time, we said, "What do you want to do? What are you all about?" And what they said, "We're all about kids." And that's why we want to be known as St. Nicholas, because St. Nicholas was all about kids. Okay, what else are you about? Well, people don't realize it, but even in a community like Darnestown, there are a lot of poor people. So we'd like to do some things so that they don't just watch food being grown out in these fields, mostly corn, but that we can give them food too. Oh, helping the poor. That's also very St. Nicholas. What else? Well, we're Trinitarian, so here's our third one. We want to be all about the environment, taking care of the earth as God intended us to take care of it. Honest to goodness, those were the three things they came up with. And it's also why they wanted to be St. Nicholas. So, what happens in love bears fruit forever. So, St. Nicholas, very few of us here were originals anymore. I don't think I wasn't. I wouldn't qualify as that. But we have held on to those principles throughout the whole time. It is part of what it means to belong here. And it is certainly something we've worked at becoming. Kids. This next year, we fully expect to put the Roberta Miller Learning Cottage for our kids' Sunday school in place, out in the back here. Food. We've always given to Germantown Help, but we've added to it. We now have a garden out here. And the food from that garden, beginning in the spring and running until, a week ago, roughly, it goes to Nourish Now, a group that puts together food for soup kitchens and various other places where it is needed. Fresh food, not just the canned stuff or the packaged stuff. Environment. When we built this building, that was very much taken into account, exactly where it was placed, how big it would be, how it would be serviced by water and sewer and all. I mean, some of the things were frankly quite annoying, but it was green. This building is probably the greenest one in the entire diocese. Don't ask me how that happens, but it did. What we're adding to it? Solar panels. And we already have a thriving bee colony, which is growing out here, which will help. So, as I said at the beginning, what begins as a shiny new thing, it needs to be tended. And through the generosity of a whole lot of people, those things I just mentioned are in fact coming into fruition this next year. Yay. So, how can you help? You can take one of these things, these cards. It's called an annual giving campaign. We don't call these things pledges. We know that things change. We don't want you to feel handcuffed by what you say. What we want is your best estimate of how you can support the church this next year. What can the vestry count on? That's really all it's about.
And if you need to change it, you can do that. All we ask is you give us a written notice so we know that.
So as I said at the beginning, what starts in love, what starts as a shiny new thing, it creates a kind of kindness discipline that will carry us forward into our 32nd year as St. Nick's.